Hi, this is Anna Crowe with the Get Real podcast, where CEOs, CMOs, communications experts, and leaders share their real advice. It's 6 questions under 9 minutes because we get to it real fast. So let's get to it. Really excited for today's guest. In a few short sentences, please tell us who you are and what you do.
All right. I'm Mary Crafts, and I'm from Utah. For 35 years, I owned and operated my own catering and event planning company that I started from scratch. 2 years ago, I sold that to my children. I'm still chairman of the board, but I launched a brand new company because I knew I wasn't ready to retire from life. So I now have Mary Crafts Inc. that does speaking, podcasting, writing, personal fitness, coaching, all sorts of different things that fill my life with joy.
Well, you are incredible, Mary. I'm already in awe, and we just started this. Um, so you've been in the food industry for a big portion of your life, and now you've expanded to other industries. But can you tell me, what do you think is the best thing about being a leader in your industry?
Well, I think one of the best things about if you get to be a leader is that then you have immediately people's respect and admiration, and they listen to you when you speak. And that for me is a big thing. I love to be the trendsetter in my industry. I love to be the one that's always out front. And you can't do that from the back seat. You have to be willing to be up front. But the scary part about that is that then you are the first to do anything, and you darn well better do it right or know how to make it right.
Mhm. Absolutely. I love that. Mary, you talk about being a leader, and part of that is creating connections with others. And like you said, having something to say. What do you think is difficult about creating authentic connections? There are other leaders I speak to that say it can be challenging to make them with all the noise today. I'd love to hear your take on that.
Well, certainly there is a lot of noise today. There's more noise now than in any of my career. And sometimes I just have to really shut the noise down and go within myself. When I'm able to connect myself, to my head, to my heart, and listen, then I'm more able to do it with others because I can do it from a solid, quiet, focused foundation place. But if I do it from that place where I'm simply reflecting what everybody else is saying, everybody else's excitement or drama, then no authentic communication can happen.
Mhm. That's really great advice, because a lot of people I talk to really focus on the fact that, how to create connections with other people. And I love the fact that you touched on making an authentic connection internally as well, and being at ease and at peace with a lot of those things. And that's so important, to be forward looking and then making those connections with others. So thank you for that. And do you have any other real advice that you can share with other leaders? Is there anything else that you think is really important?
I think that you can't leave it to other people to create your connections for you. You have to be forward thinking. And, like, for example, when I created my own personal mentor group, I went out after those women and asked them to be in my group and created that for myself. I went out after the kind of corporate networking group I wanted. And when I showed up, I walked in that room with the kind of presence that gave people the idea, like, whoa, I don't know who that is, but I need to know her. It is a confidence level that you create that when you walk into a room, people immediately know that's someone I want to know. But none of that is anyone else's responsibility but your own. You can't ask anyone to create the connections that you want. You are the creator.
Mm. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Mary, before we get to our final, more of a fun question, are there any other successful executives, such as yourself, that you admire, would want to give a shout out to, or think should be on this podcast?
Probably in Utah, the person I would shout out would be Cindy Tetro. I did Cindy's wedding like 30 years ago. Okay. And now she is this full-fledged executive in our Silicon Slopes. She runs the Women's Tech Council. And what I know her as Little Cindy Rogers now is the Cindy Tetro. And I like that she still takes time for me and gives me a nod. But she is a woman to be admired, and someone who has taken her skill level of communication to a whole new level.
That's great. She sounds pretty incredible. So I'd love to connect with her. Thank you. All right, cool. So our final question is more of a fun one. As I said, tell us about your first job.
Nothing is below a CEO. And that is the true gift when you can do it all, work in the trenches. When the buck stops here, that's the true mark of a leader and a CEO. And my first job was working for an elderly lady that couldn't get around herself. And I emptied her bedpans and made her bed every day.
Mm.
You can start anywhere
Yeah.
and build up.
Yeah. And I'm sure you made such a great difference in her life, which is another really important thing to do in life, right? Make an impact on others. That's wonderful. Well, Mary, how can people get a hold of you?
The best thing is my website, which is Mary Crafts with an S, CRAFTS Inc.com. There they can see all 139 of my podcasts, connect with my different programs about fit and fabulous after 50, my Marco Polo channel, my book that's coming out, which is Unbounded from Sorrow to Summit. And I invite all of you to check me out on my website. I'd love to connect.
Fantastic. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. This is Anna Crowe on the Get Real podcast. For more insights, visit us at crowepr.com. Thanks so much and make it a great day.
Thank you.